Hey folks, welcome to eCommerce 360. Today we have Valentine Radu. He's an entrepreneur, data-driven marketer, CR expert, CBO evangelist, international speaker. But most of all, he's the founder and CEO of Omniconvert. Omniconvert is a SaaS company that provides growth solutions to mid-sized e-commerce businesses looking to become customer-centric. Valentine, thank you for coming on the show. It's been a huge honor having you on our show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me, Rav, today.
Okay, so before we jump into the topic, which is using zero-party data to boost e-commerce growth, let us talk a bit about Omniconvert and how did you conceive this idea, and why do you think that e-commerce businesses should be more attuned towards a customer-centric model?
Well, it all started with the frustration. I was struggling to improve the ad spend on my former e-commerce company. We were investing something like 1 million in Google Ads, and we were only breaking even. So we thought that we need to do something about it, because if we don't do it, all my friends were laughing at me because they were working at all these multinational companies, and I was barely surviving after, and I was working, as you can imagine, and as an entrepreneur, much more than they did. So we realized that, hey, we need to look at the data. And what the data revealed by looking at it is that was that the best customers that we were having were, we were selling online car insurance at that moment. And we realized that the best customers were actually truck drivers and luxury car owners. Even though they were something like 18% of all our customers, they were generating around 80% of our total margin. So that was an aha moment, and we realized that we need to know our customers better. And that led to a lot of focus on customer retention for the best customers and acquiring the right fit customers. So mainly that was the seed of building Omniconvert. And now Omniconvert is a growth solution that enables e-commerce companies to understand who are their best customers so that they can acquire the best customers that they need, their ideal customers, and also to improve the customer journey for this type of customers.
Fascinating. So let's talk a bit about zero-party data, which is what you've been passionate about, and I think also been kind of an evangelist about using Omniconvert. So why is zero-party data, and why right now should e-commerce brands be worried or concerned about zero-party data?
Yeah, I think the good old days of companies focusing on clicks and conversions will be gone. What the companies will start to focus on are conversations and relationships that they have with their customers. And in order to do that, they need these two types of data. As the cookies are vanishing, as iOS is in full throttle, Google is going to get rid of the cookies by 2023 as well. It's clear that marketers should be focusing more on the data that they already have around their customers, which means first-party data, like what products the customers have bought from which brand, when they've bought it, how pleased they were about the acquisition, and also zero-party data, what kind of data the customers were intentionally sharing with the brand, like things related to their purchase, like why they are buying this product. So this zero and first-party data allows the brands to actually become relevant and acquire the customers that they are needing. It's a pity that many customers are over-reliant on ad networks because they acquire the wrong customers with the wrong message, and they do these heavy discount campaigns to acquire customers that never come back. And the alternative that we are suggesting is, what if you would be looking at your existing customer base, segment them based on the RFM, like recency, frequency, and monetary value, and what if you could understand who are your ideal customers, the ones that are having the highest customer lifetime value. And thanks to this information, you can also add things related to the jobs to be done, like why those customers have bought your products in the very beginning. and what makes them come back over and over again to your shop. And once you have this kind of data, then the acquisition is going to be much more easier, because you can capture this type of zero-party data, like why are you here on our website, or what's the most interesting for you right now. I'm looking to buy XYZ, or I'm looking to buy products that will make me more healthy, or that will make me look better, or whatever. So based on this type of zero-party data, the brands could shape the journeys around this type of intentional given data. Because if you are there to look better, then the landing page, the future landing page, could be around looking better. And the remarketing ad campaigns could be around looking better, not around, I don't know, being healthier. So that's how you can shift this focus towards the customers.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is find out what makes your customer zing, and then go about curating a customer journey, probably, after checkout experience, welcome email. So we're going to be talking about it a bit. So find out what makes your customers tick and curate the entire journey around them. That's a great idea. So when brands have to start collecting the zero-party data or the first-party data, what are the best ways they can go about collecting it? How do they collect it? Because it shouldn't be annoying, because the customers are on their website to shop. They're not there to provide information about themselves. So what is the least annoying way of getting this data from your customers?
Yeah. So I would start first with researching with customer research. So I would start with the group of your ideal customers that you already acquired. So mainly if you do RFM segmentation, you'll see that there are some customers which are so stubborn that they are continuing to buy from your brand despite all the hiccups that you had, despite all the barriers that you put in front of them. So you get this group of your best customers, and then you validate with them either with in-depth interviews like jobs to be done to identify what makes them say today is the day that I'm going to buy this product from this company. And once you have this type of jobs to be done, the needs that they need to fulfill, you go out there and you do A/B testing in terms of with pre-purchase surveys. You might think, and many companies would think, that surveys are annoying and they are not being completed. But the truth is that once you know why the customers might be there, and if you don't give them like 10 options, but only 4, maximum 5 different options, you will see that, hey, we have X% of our revenue, of our recurring revenue coming from job number 1. Let's say you are a brand that sells cosmetics, and the people out there are buying it not because you have eco-friendly ingredients, but they are buying because they actually want to look better without harming their health in the future. So let's say you have these jobs to be done for your products. And once you have that, you add a survey in the pre-purchase, you collect the data, and then you do remarketing and then onboarding via emails differently, because it's all about what matters for the customers. It's not about the company journey, it's about the customer journey.
Absolutely. And what do you do once you collect these data? So you have segmented your customers, you have surveyed them, and you have collected this data, and now you're going to go after other prospects who are very similar to the segment or the kind of persona that you have already gathered. So what do brands do after they have collected the data? How do they leverage the zero-party data or the first-party data that they have collected?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what they're actually doing is they are building audiences, and there are different campaigns, right? So you can go out there and acquire customers with the right messaging, because you now know as a brand what's not only just what's, let's say, indicative towards a conversion, but you know for sure that customers are buying because of these jobs, right? So you craft campaigns based on the jobs to be done by your products, right? Based on zero-party data. So your acquisition campaigns will be about looking better, using eco-friendly ingredients, and so on. And that's how you acquire customers in the first place. Moreover, you build lookalike audiences. We have actually in Omniconvert we have a dynamic audience builder that allows you to build evergreen campaigns on autopilot. So mainly you push this kind of data, like from the best customers that you have, you push it in Facebook and it's automatically updating. So you build lookalike audiences based on your best customers, not based on your average customers. Mm-hmm. And another way to use this type of data is to craft onboarding campaigns differently. So basically you have this RFM segmentation and you know that your purchase cycle is, for instance, every 3 weeks or every 5 weeks. So this type of data, you see it in Reveal in our solution, you see that customers are buying every 5 weeks. And then if there are more than 5 weeks for a newly acquired customer, then and he hasn't bought again, you do a remarketing campaign to prevent the customer from churning. So the idea is that you need to fit the consumption cycle, not only the buying cycle. Because if your customers are not consuming your products, then they will not do a stockpiling in their shelf, right? I'm not going to buy 10 creams, 10 anti-aging creams if I'm not using the first one and I'm not satisfied about it. And many brands are forgetting that they are not in the business of selling products. They are in the business of fulfilling the desires and the needs of their customers.
Very clever. So that's very smart way of looking at customer acquisition. So when brands start using zero-party data or the first-party data, typically from your experience, what metrics do you see an immediate impact? Because brands or e-commerce marketers are going to be all about metrics. They have to show, right? So what are the metrics that they need to be paying attention to when it comes to leveraging their first-party or zero-party data?
The first metric is a return on advertising spend, because mainly we are living an acquisition marketing time, right? So for decades, marketers were around acquiring customers. So mainly the first thing is that the return on advertising spend is going to be higher once you introduce this type of approach, right? Because you'll be more relevant. The second metric is that the customer retention rate will be higher. Once you onboard the customers on their own pace with the most relevant message, you'll be able to allow them to consume your product and not to be intrusive, because mainly a lot of brands are there in the game of pushing the next sale. Buy, discount. But it's not about that. I mean, let's put the shoes of us as consumers. Nobody wants to buy stuff that they are not needing or they are not pleased about. So that's the other metric, right? Customer ROAS, customer retention. And the third is the net promoter score. So we are big fans of checking if you are fulfilling the promise that you give as a brand. So when a customer is buying the first time a product from a brand, he's actually buying the promise, the marketing of that product. He's not buying the product itself. And if you're not fulfilling your promise to the customers, you don't need to pour more money into making Facebook richer just to acquire customers that will not be pleased about your products.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the tech stack that is required for the collection of zero-party data, and then for leveraging it, and then for retargeting. What are the kind of the tech stack that an e-commerce brand must use in order to, completely, convincingly use to the maximum all the zero-party or the first-party data that they have?
Yeah, so we are building a tech stack towards this direction. There, first of all, you will need to collect the pre-purchase data, and that means an overlay or a survey solution. We have a survey solution and an overlay solution, but there are many other solutions out there. The problem with these solutions is that you need also to tag the customers so that you can transport the data in your GTM, or you need to transport it so that you can monitor the revenue impact. And there are other solutions out there which are doing a good job. We are actually in the game of providing this solution as well. Next, what you need is a tagging solution, so that, for instance, if you're using Shopify or any other e-commerce platform, you need to tag the customers and the users according to that. Then you will need an email marketing solution that communicates with these tags so that you can onboard the customers according to those tags, right? If you are in the game of buying a beauty product, or if you are there for a healthy living or whatever, you need to transport this job to be done to the email marketing solution, and that will allow you to do this type of onboarding campaigns. For instance, Klaviyo does a great job with this, and we are also integrated with Klaviyo for this instance. Then you will also want to use a way to get this type of zero and first party data and to analyze the revenue impact. So you need to analyze what is the revenue impact for specific customer segments, right? Which are your best customers or not? And we have this type of segmentation, a segmentation engine called RFM, which stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value, that allows brands to see, okay, these are my best customers, and let's build a different customer journey for them. Let's treat them better. Then you'll need a help desk solution as well, because this type of tags could be treated differently. These types of segments, the first party data, could be addressed differently if you have a help desk solution that allows you to tag the customers that are, let's say, very important customers. We call them the soulmates, right? The ones that are active and buy over and over again. So you need to tag those customers, and in the case they are disappointed, you need to tag them instantly, right? So that's why you need an NPS solution as well, and we have that built in our tool stack as well. So pretty much after that, you need to push this type of data to Facebook and Google Ads and you name it, TikTok and whatever. And to do this, we have this audience builder as well, which is built in our product.
Amazing. So a quick question I thought about when you were talking about segmentation, right? So at what stage of revenue should brands start thinking about gathering zero-party or first-party data? Is it like, from the beginning, like from the start, or should they be at a certain revenue number for them to start thinking about zero-party or first-party data? Because as we know, whenever a brand kicks off, they're all going to start with Facebook marketing. That's where they all start. So when do you think in a brand's, revenue journey, where should they be in order to start using zero-party or first-party data?
Yeah, I've extensively addressed this topic on our website as well. There are some maturity phases. So let's say if you're a brand, you start with the crawl phase, right? So let's say you are under 1 million in turnover. All you need to do is to acquire customers, but you also need to understand if those customers are happy, because otherwise you will go out of business by acquiring the wrong customers with the suboptimal products. So that's why you need to verify with first party data and zero party data, how satisfied are the customers by what you're selling. So I would simply focus on post-purchase data regarding the NPS, right? So I would ask the customers, no matter how small is that company, I would ask the customers how satisfied they are about the products, right? So, and what are the chances for them to recommend. At the next phase, at the walk phase, so companies which are between 1 and 10 million in turnover, they need to track things like customer lifetime value, things like customer retention rate, average days between the transactions. So they will need to focus on their customers, because they need to optimize their spending. They need to acquire the right customers for the right reasons, and they need to also focus on the products that allows them to acquire the right customers, right? So mainly at this phase, they need to already use zero and first party data extensively. And then at the run phase, right? So we have crawl, walk, and run. At the run phase, companies which are between 10 and 50 million, they need to look at RFM segmentation. They need to look at average days between the transactions. They need to look at cohort A/B testing. So they will need to do more advanced stuff. So, and the largest companies out there, if their leadership is open-minded, they will be building an experimentation team so that they can consciously improve things like customer lifetime value with initiatives that are aligning the whole company around their customers.
Absolutely amazing. So from a shopper's perspective, right now, till now, we've been speaking from a company's perspective, how the companies can know what kind of brand messaging that they're going out with. From the end user, from the shopper's perspective, how useful or how important is zero-party data? Because I don't think shoppers want to be, just thrown at all ads about products that they don't even care about. So what is the importance of zero-party data from the shopper's perspective?
Yeah, for the shopper's perspective, imagine that you're in a shop where you can do it yourself. So let's say nobody is actually interacting with you, right? Mm-hmm. So you go out there and you can select the products that you need, and you look for information. A company which is actively interacting with the customers is like in real life. If you have a shop assistant that's asking you the right questions and that it's, let's say, discreet enough and not intrusive with you, so that it can guide you towards the best decision, then from the customer's point of view, that's actually a better experience than not interacting with the customer. For instance, we have an example of a company which is using this type of zero-party data, collecting it with a quiz, and the revenue per users that are revenue per user, if the user is interacting with the quiz, is 30% higher than if it's not interacting with the quiz. But the quiz is not that long, so mainly you are just looking to ask the right questions and then to provide the right journey. So pretty much that's how it goes.
That was simply brilliant. Thank you so much, Valentine, for coming on our show and leaving us with a lot of unconventional yet simple and easily implementable ideas. Thank you so much for coming on our show. I hope you enjoyed it, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that's about it from us this week.
Thank you as well for having me, Rev. And if you have any other questions, you can find me on LinkedIn, or I have a whole CVO Academy towards to let's say democratize the knowledge around customer lifetime value optimization.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Valentine. Have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Bye.